Celebrity MasterChef in its finals week. Every time our 3 finalists walk in this kitchen, they have to impress you and I. And today, they have got a massive challenge in front of them.
MasterChef has been harder than I could ever imagine, which is a bit stupid of me, given that at the top of every single show, Greg says cooking doesn't get tougher than this. You know, there's a clue there.
Every time you walk through those doors, you want to be brilliant, you want to do the best. And you want to come out with your head held high, a big smile on your face.
I've quite enjoyed finals week so far, but it is getting really hard. The challenge is getting tougher and tougher. Who knows what's coming next?
We are now going to introduce our finalists into the wonderful world of desserts. John, this is lovely for me. They are either going to love it or be terrified.
Welcome back. Today for you 3, we have one of the most difficult disciplines of any kitchen. Today is all about pastry. You are about to get a masterclass of a lifetime.
We have one of the best pastry chefs, maybe the best I've ever met. Ladies and gentlemen, Claire Clark.
Claire's career has included 5 years at the 3 Michelin-starred French Laundry in California's Napa Valley. She has also been awarded an MBE.
Today, I have chosen you one of the hardest pastry challenges. You're going to be making a 2-tier chocolate celebration cake. Let's get cracking. So our first step is we're going to be making the cake base first. So all the yolks in the bowl with the large amount of sugar.
This is a cake that few would be brave enough to try making at home. There are 3 techniques involved. 2 Viennese Sacca cake bases.
The little one's going to take 50 minutes and the large one 55 to 60.
A white chocolate and vanilla frosting.
So this is the sort of consistency we're looking for. I mean, basically, if you shake it, it could kind of drop off the paddle, you know?
And a chocolate ganache.
It's quite important to have the temperature really exact. The cream must be boiling. Pastry is an art because it's a science, and you have to do things really precisely. So we can check the cake. The cake base itself, it's got to be cooked properly. Take the skewer, put the skewer in, the skewer should come out clean. If it's not cooked properly, they're not going to be able to cut it and slice it. So now we're going to slice the cakes to make your layers. What? We're going to start to cut it into 3 now.
Oh.
Don't take the knife out.
Right.
Turn the cake and just continue to cut. It's like building a house. If you don't have good foundations, your house is going to fall down. You take some of your frosting, take a good dollop, and using a spatula or your palette knife, push it to the edge, but not all the way, and level it over. And then we're going to do the first technique of masking. Masking is filling in any areas that aren't level. Okay?
Yeah.
Do the masking now with the ganache. The most important thing from the ganache is that it's kept smooth. If it's not smooth, your cake's going to look a mess, even though it might taste nice. So you see what the masking is doing? This is the chocolate glaçage, the chocolate glaze for over the top. So I'm going to put that over a bain-marie. Everything's temperature controlled. The glaçage has got to be the right consistency, so if it's too hot, it's going to start to melt the ganache underneath it. If it's too cold, it's going to run off. So now we're ready for the finale, the decorating. So next is the pillars, to arrange the pillars. I want to make sure it's sitting in the middle. Right to the final moment when you put your last rose or your last leaf onto the cake. That is going to be the moment when they can step back and take a deep sigh, I should think.
Okay, that's impressive.
You've got 4.5 hours to do this task. It's over to you. Let's get cracking.
This is an incredibly intimidating challenge. One slip up and you'll ruin the whole thing.
It's going to be quite funny to see if our cakes come up looking anywhere near as beautiful. I'll be honest, I'm sceptical.
As you can assume, I'm right into cake decorating, flower arranging at the weekend. It's got disaster written all over, isn't it?
You can cut the tension with a knife. It's very, very quiet, it's very, very concentrated, it's very, very focused. And all three of them are way up against it.
I'm disastrous at baking. I've only cooked one cake in my life. That was back in 1985. So that was the last time I attempted to bake a cake.
Emma, have you ever made anything as complicated as this before?
No, never. It's exciting, isn't it?
How close to Claire's example do you think you're going to get?
It'll be a fair approximation of Claire's cake. I'm quite frightened of cutting the big cake into 3. I think that's going to be a challenge.
For some reason or other, Emma's cake has been poured into the tin unevenly, and now we have a cake which is this thick at one end and this thick at the other.
She couldn't cut the base into 3 slices, which she's supposed to do. She's cut it into 2. That's my worry.
2.5 hours left.
Yay!
Before I came into the competition, desserts were never my thing. I mean, I loved eating them, but never really made them. But it seems that desserts have found their way to me during MasterChef. I've done a lot of them, a lot more than the other 2 have. So I kind of think that maybe desserts are my thing.
Your frosting is looking a little bit runny, Michael.
Yeah, I have a feeling I didn't whip my eggs enough, which is just stupid and annoying. But so as long as it doesn't just slip out of the cake, hopefully it'll still taste amazing.
Good luck, Michael.
Thanks, guys.
The task is so enormous, actually it looks to me as though Michael is suffocating in its enormity. It's a huge task for anybody, and Michael, you can see the pressure really getting to him. Halfway, halfway.
I could follow a recipe, the skills, the practicality of it reasonably well. But desserts, I've no idea what I'm like, because it's something that I would avoid. It's just not my thing.
How achievable do you think this task is? I mean, you look at Claire's cake over there, something of absolute beauty.
Puddings aren't really my thing. To get anywhere near it, I think would be half a miracle. She makes it look very, very easy, very, very simple. It's not.
Why don't you like puddings?
Just don't. I'd rather have a starter and a main and then an espresso. I think technically it'll be fine. Whether it tastes that good, I don't know.
Artistically?
Yeah, debatable.
Danny, good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. I know that Danny has got precision in his fingers, but he hasn't got a sweet tooth. He doesn't like dessert. So how is he going to make something beautiful with his heart and soul in it if he really doesn't want to eat the cake?
Last 30 minutes to make this beautiful.
Michael? Yes. Is that your cake there?
That's my cake, yeah.
Why is it not shiny?
Just about to glaze it, Greg.
Last 10 minutes. Guys, just under 5 minutes left. Just 2 minutes left. Okay, that's it. Finished.
Well done.
Danny, there's a lot I like about this cake. I love the way you've placed the polka dots on. You know, you thought about balancing the cake out. And I love your rose. Beautiful flat surfaces. It looks fabulous, just apart from this bubbling of the glaçage, which is caused by that being too hot and melting the ganache underneath. OK, let's check out your layers and the filling inside. It's the moment of truth.
Way.
Yes, beautiful. Look at that. I'm going to leave it standing up because it's so proud. That's nearly perfect. Really, really good masking.
Thank you.
Way.
There we go. It's good. I love the texture of the frosting. It's super light and fluffy. It's really, really nice. And of course, the finishing, especially on the smaller cake, is excellent. Beautiful laying. I love that thin masking. Lovely thin, shiny glaze on top. It's really well done.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Heavenly. Heavenly.
For somebody who has never really done cake decorating or worked like this before, this is pretty impressive.
I'm really pleased. Almost perfect was the thing. Almost, yet again.
Okay, Emma. Well, I think you've done a pretty good cover-up job of your cakes. I'd say they're looking rather beveled rather than straight-edged, but at least they're both beveled. The roses, I just feel they're a little heavy, a little thick and clumsy. You've used your modelling paste wisely. You've actually thought, well, I need to make it look nice, I'm going to cover it up. And you've done that very successfully. So I am interested to see how that's going to look inside.
You can see it's not perfect. There's a thumb mark and a hole in that leaf there.
Got a hefty amount of ganache on there. Of course, the other really noticeable thing is that there's only 2 layers instead of 3. It's really hard to get the spoon through because the ganache is so thick. The cake is very dense, it's very heavy, very close textured, so it doesn't eat that well. But your frosting is excellent, it's super light and creamy.
Yeah.
The thickness of the chocolate ganache, you could probably leave a footprint in it. I was struggling to actually get my fork through it. Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Thanks, Emma.
So my cake was a disaster. The frosting was good, but every single other aspect of the cake was horrendous.
Mike, you started so well. And then at the end, it got very, very pushed for time for your decoration.
I mean, the band along the bottom has got hardly any decoration. Nothing at all here.
But having said that, the roses are superb. I mean, really superb.
All right.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it?
He's got 6 inches of ganache. Ooh.
Here we go. Well, it's got less ganache on this one. So we'll try a bit of this one first. I'm going to squash it all. Just an awful lot to get through. Far too much chocolate, really hard to eat your way through that. It's quite dense, the ganache. It also makes the cake quite sickly. It's because of the amount of ganache on the top. The bottom layer actually eats really well. I've got a nice amount of ganache, surprisingly moist.
You all right, Michael?
You know, I feel a tiny bit disappointed in some ways because it's the final. Because we're at this stage, you want to be producing stuff that puts big smiles on everyone's faces, and I feel that this is a slightly wry smile, this cake.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you again very, very soon. Off you go. A privilege for our 3 to have you give the masterclass, and an honour for us to have you here doing such an extraordinary thing. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Our 3 now know what is possible with pastry, how beautiful it can be. They should now be inspired, John. Let's see what they make with our own desserts. I want to go to heaven on a spoon, that's what I want. Listen, I love desserts. Give me something beautiful today and you could be on your way to a MasterChef title.
Ladies and gentlemen, your own creation, a dessert of absolute splendour. 2 hours, let's cook.
It was such a disaster, my cake. But what's my motto? Never give up, never surrender.
Something delicious.
Yes.
What are you going to cook for us?
I'm going to make for you a raspberry meringue tart with a raspberry coulis and some raspberries that have been soaked in liqueur and a chantilly cream.
We believe you cook at your best when you've got a massive big smile on your face and you're having fun.
Yes.
Today you're looking very serious.
Well, it's because I mucked up. I hate mucking up.
What for you today are the challenges and the dangerous points of this recipe?
I would like the bottom of my phyllo pastry to be really super crisp. I want my raspberry filling to be delicious. But the most important thing for me is that it really delivers on taste.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You've had 30 minutes. Half an hour gone.
I think I surprised myself in the test with Claire, making the cakes. I suppose I've maybe set the bar a little bit too high for myself. The trouble is now I've got to try and live up to that.
What are you making for us today?
I'm going to do a jelly and ice cream for you. I spoke to my kids and thought, actually, what do they like to eat? Dessert should be fun. So really, it's a take on sort of kids' party food, a bit of jelly and ice cream and a little bit of cake.
Inspired by the kids. Have you made it for the kids?
I have.
How did it go down?
Oh, they all went. But they're not that fussy. If not, they don't get fed.
Danny's always pushing himself with process and technique, and he's doing exactly the same with his dessert. But I'm concerned about the way it's going to taste. Just under 40 minutes left.
I absolutely have a point to prove to John and Greg. The pressure is totally on for me to deliver. The cake this morning didn't go to plan. This afternoon, my dessert has to be brilliant.
You look like you've been completely defeated. What's going on, mate?
I'll be honest with you guys, I just felt a little bit embarrassed earlier today with that cake challenge. I definitely left feeling a little bit on a low.
Right, so let's put that to one side.
Yeah.
Because we know how good your desserts can be and how delicious they are. So tell us about your deliciousness.
Today I'm going to be doing for you guys a rhubarb and honeycomb trifle.
He's back. He's back in the room.
It's some great flavours in this. It's all about layering. There's about 7 different processes that I've got to get right. And of course there's a lot of setting and a lot of mixing and stuff to do. But I don't think I've completely made it impossible for myself.
I really want you to do well this round, because me and you, probably the only ones in this room that really, really love puddings. And I really want you to do brilliantly well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
He's got several different layers, all of which have got to be perfect. Trifle sounds simple, not the way Michael's doing it. This is a complex thing.
Five minutes left.
Three minutes. Last 60 seconds, move yourselves. That's it, stop. Time's up.
Michael has made a rhubarb and honeycomb trifle layered with rhubarb jelly, sponge, custard, poached rhubarb and cream.
You haven't managed to layer the trifle. May not detract from how well it tastes.
Mark, I really like your flavours. I love the flavour of that wonderful creamy custard in there with the rhubarb and your honeycomb, which is tasting of really delicious honey. But your jelly hasn't set, Michael. And in the bottom of that glass, we have soup. All it needed was that jelly to be set, and it would have been great.
We've got a texture issue because there's no jelly. The jelly hasn't set. We have not got a flavour issue. The flavours are divine. Very, very lovely flavours. But look, 2 mouthfuls and we've got a bowl of slush. You feeling all right, mate?
Yeah, no, not really, actually.
You want to cry, didn't you?
A little bit. A bit of an off day today. On a day that I thought wouldn't be. Jelly not setting. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm in the final of MasterChef. What's going on?
Danny has made strawberry jelly with vanilla ice cream, a pistachio cake, a sesame seed tuile, mini meringues, and a strawberry and mint sauce.
Good-looking dish. It's just whether it tastes good. I have one tiny criticism, and that is there is not enough cake. Besides that, Danny, it is absolutely delicious. It is a really pretty, lovely thing, but give me more cake.
It should have been a bit bigger.
What you've done here is really skillful, very skillful, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with the quality of your ice cream, your jelly, your cake, your meringue, your twill. But that much work has got to produce a bigger flavour sensation than strawberry ice cream sugar. That's how I feel.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheers, thank you.
A mixed report from John and Greg. I was happy with it. John was happy with it. I think Greg's just jealous that I've got more hair than him.
Emma has made a raspberry meringue tart with liqueur-soaked raspberries, chantilly cream and raspberry coulis.
You've created a nice shape and actually quite a pretty little tartlet on a plate there. Well done.
Thank you.
Ta-da! Great. Sugary meringue pastry is so crisp, it's light. And then, bosh, big snog off of ripe, sharp raspberry. Beautiful.
I love the coulis and the raspberries. I even like that sort of marshmallow meringue with the whipped cream. I would have loved to really taste the raspberries in the bottom. So like a lemon meringue pie is really sort of sharp and sweet
Yes.
with lemon.
Yep.
That, I think, needs to be more sharp and sweet with raspberries. I know that you battled with yourself today and pastry and desserts. So for you, this is a massive achievement. Well done.
I needed that. I needed that. Greg Wallace, love my pudding. That's it. There is no higher praise as far as I'm concerned.
We knew this was going to be a tough test. Well done. Off you go. Thanks very much.
These last two challenges, we've seen our three work very, very hard. They all want to pick up that title, and that's why the competition is so hot.
It's not been a great day for me today. I've got to put this behind me, come back, ready for a big fight.
If I won it, it would be fantastic. Some tough challenges still to go. Who knows?
I know we've got another challenge coming. They're always a little bit harder than the previous one.
We've got three amazing finalists. It's been tough. It's about to get tougher.
Next time, the celebrity finalists pay tribute to some of Britain's oldest heroes.
With fine dining, you've got to be as precise as possible.
It would be a very bad thing if I was seen to be killing heroes.
Time is my only enemy.
It's going to be very tight. I'm going like the flipping clappers.
Faster, please.